It's been a curious few weeks in Newcastle since you were last here. I'll explain everything in a moment, but I was just checking the data hub for a moment and came upon this ridiculous graph. It might be one of my favourite graphs of all time because I'm on the assisting forward section of the data hub, which I always have permanently available to me. And you can see that two of our forwards are quite good. What I particularly love is they are outliers on different axes. Alan Saint-Maximin destroying the key passes per 90 minutes side of things, and Luis Diaz destroying the assists per 90 minutes side of things. Neither particularly shabby on the opposite spectrum either. This is ridiculous, how far away they are from anybody else. The Ratcho here, I notice, isn't massively far behind Diaz on the assist per 90, but Saint-Maximin, 2 key passes pretty much clear of the next highest person. Absolute madness. By the way, in case you're wondering why I prefer Casteels over Chesney, that's why. Casteels actually prevents goals, apparently. Also slightly better save percentage. But to get you caught up upon the results, yeah, that happened. 3-1 loss against Everton immediately after the Southampton match. Can't explain it. We were absolutely outplayed. It's a weird old game. I wasn't weakened at all. Sesko was substituted on late on, scored a consolation goal. It was a great goal. It was a goal we deserved on the play of things, but with the players available to me, that was my first 11, so no explanation there, really. Can't explain it. Of course, naturally followed that with a 5-0 demolition of West Brom. Lost to Dortmund in the 86th minute. I was thinking 0-0's a good result here. Then we conceded. Beat Spurs away from home, though. Of course we did. Spurs' team is actually probably better than Dortmund's at this point in time. Screed past Middlesbrough, did rotate more there. Dele Alli was a nuisance for Brighton. He had a goal disallowed as well. It could have been 3-3. And then Bournemouth were naturally a walkover. 3 goals. 3 goals was probably lucky for them. We had over 20 shots. In fact, probably over 30 shots by the end of it. Yeah, 31. 14 on target. It is absolutely ridiculous the amount of saves goalkeepers make in this game. When one side is dominant, we did have an XG of 3, so 3 goals is spot on, really, according to the XG. But they really need to sort out the number of shots on target save situation because Bournemouth are obviously getting battered every single week. But Mark Travers has made an absurd number of saves in total. They either need to make games like these more of a rout, 5, 6, 7-0, or have less shots on target. One of the two. Goalkeepers need to save less, or we need to be less accurate in shooting. One of the two. We can't be having situations where goalkeepers are having 10 plus saves every single week, particularly bad goalkeepers. But anyway, Dortmund now. We've got overturn of 1-0. Also, amusingly, considering what's happened at the weekend, the other tie today is Chelsea versus Inter. Yep, I'll just check which side Lukaku's on. He's still at Chelsea. Well, it's in charge. Did I know this? No, because he was in charge of Leipzig when we played them earlier this season. He's not great. Also, Manchester City play Leicester City today as well, and they are our FA Cup opponents directly after this. There's no Sheffield United. Now, Nianzao is returning to fitness. But Toussaint's been pretty good, in fairness. So the lineup will be, in fact, I just need to get Diaz on that bench real quick. Who can I replace on there? Actually, why is he on the bench? There we go. Saint-Maximin on the bench. That makes sense. He can play either side. Casteels in goal. Simicast at left back. Dina's not back. I don't know if he was injured last time. I just realised that might be a bit of news. Dina's injured. Simicast at left back. Diaz and Soulé, first choice centre-backs, are back in their entirety again. Lamptey at right back. We've got right backs again. Toussaint, Benacer, not Winks. What's happened there? Benacer and SMS. I thought I'd sorted this beforehand. Apparently not. Diaz and Makoko. Calvert-Lewin up front. Calvert-Lewin, a little bit further off the boil than usual. I won't say completely off the boil. He didn't play 2 games in a row. That's my bad. He probably should have played against Brighton. But did score against Bournemouth, but did go 4 games before that without scoring. Had a heck of a January and February. Well, January into early February. And then didn't score for 4 games. In fact, the 4 games basically since we last met. Then didn't play for 2 and then scored against Bournemouth. So hopefully that's got his morale back up again a little bit. Not really shown you the Dortmund team. I showed you the Dortmund team, I think, an episode or 2 ago. I'll show you how they line up because it's not a particularly strong team, in my opinion. Mats Hummels is still there at the age of 42 or whatever it will be by 2025. Bellingham, Julian Brandt still there. They've got Harry Sutar on the bench, which I think explains the situation that Dortmund is in. Also Oliver Skipp. Yeah, 2 strikers, neither of which is the name I recognise. Zivkovic, I think, is at PAOK at the start of this, or at least I think I recognise his name from being at PAOK at some point. I don't really know what's happened to Dortmund. Obviously, people have bought their players, but they've not replaced them. Probably large because they keep going on frees, I now realise. Because Makoko left on a free, And Haaland left on a free last year. Albino Gittins looks like he is a Dortmund youth person, judging by the picture. And I think I do vaguely recognise the name Burkhardt, but I don't know from where. Mainz is where he starts. He's their number 9. He's replaced Haaland. Also, was Zivkovic at PAOK? I'm not going crazy. Again, I feel sorry for Dortmund. It's nice to know that my world football knowledge is sort of competent. We do need to turn things around, but we are at home now, so away goals are going to be a problem, of course, if they get any. But Mingueza has absolutely fouled Makoko, who wasn't available for the first leg, by the way. He didn't get to go back to Dortmund. Penalty has been awarded. And with no Messi on the pitch, this will be Benacer stepping up, I would imagine. It is indeed. Scores it. He's very good at penalties. Up to 11 goals. I think about half of those are penalties, though. But even so, I think he's still had more open play goals this year than he's had in previous years. Absolutely buries it, though. The one thing I love about Benacer, though, is whenever he takes a penalty, the actual technique and the positioning of the penalty is flawless, pretty much. He's never missed a penalty. It's always been drilled into a corner. That is a terrible pass from Calvert-Lewin. When he has not scored a penalty, it's due to an unbelievable save. I think he's only missed one in the entire time he's been here. Benacer does have the overlap available. Now Diaz will not activate that. Simicast back into Diaz. Benacer on the edge. Makoko, Diaz. What a move. They do have Newell in goal, who I don't think is anywhere near as good as he used to be in Football Manager. Because I remember the year that he was leaving on a free. That year when he actually ended up going to Bayern, I think, on the free. But in real life, he was unbelievable in game. FM 19, I think it might have been. I don't think he's anywhere near that level. And within the first 10 minutes, we've already turned that one goal. 3 stars, which actually technically makes him better than Casteels. It's the combination. I think it's the combination of aerial reach and reflexes. That's the key thing, really, in FM 22 for goalkeepers. 15-16, quite good. But we'll compare that to Casteels, who is 17-16. You can see why Casteels is preferred. He's also 6'6". I don't think I ever really commented on how tall Casteels is. 6'6" is a giant. 6'6" and 16 reflexes. Blimey. I don't think I've ever fully processed that. I'm struggling to now. I've realised it. Benacer, Toussaint, Makoko, Milinkovic-Savic. Calvert-Lewin will find Luis Diaz. He's got the run of the defender, although sort of recovered. Toussaint back to SMS though. All the way back to Lamptey. Toussaint on the edge. SMS now. Finds Lamptey once more. Will he get the ball in? He will do. Calvert-Lewin heads over. Here's the goal kick. He was onside. Of course, now we have to be wary of that away goal in particular, because an away goal will send them through. Although, actually, I don't know if away goals matter anymore. Do away goals matter anymore? I suppose we'll find out if it stays like this. The defending here, though, is woeful. It is technically a far post cross. Still a problem. Actually, I've just realised this is one of those formations that does mess up the instructions, because they are not marking the relevant players, because they are not using attacking midfielders, they're using regular midfielders. Left back, midfielder right, please. Luis Diaz, though, that's not going to get to Makoko. Newell now. Already conceded 2. Let's see if we can get a few more past him. Luis Diaz. We've regained the possession, which is always nice. Toussaint. Who is he going to give it to? SMS. Forward to Makoko, who has broken through their defence. Makoko, go round him, buddy. Why did you shoot from there? Another highlight immediately from the resulting goal kick. This is a very highlight-rich game already. Terrible goal kick, though. Just went nowhere near their players. Calvert-Lewin. Got his confidence back. By God, did he wallop that? I don't really understand that goal kick. None of their players were anywhere near that. Calvert-Lewin. I mean, that's a heck of a thwack. I like the fact that Texas surgical precision just went to my defender and he kicked it forward via someone. They didn't get the assist. Benacer on the corner, whips it in. Soulé is there. It's gone to the back post. Ruben Diaz. This will get pulled back. No, it won't. Okay. 4-1. We have turned this around. That's safe to say. Benacer, Soulé near post. It always feels like Ruben Diaz hits it against the post and he comes back off his own head again. But I think Soulé got the assists for that. He did, yeah. Waller for Dortmund, but still not even at half-time here. Bellingham, who is being rumoured for a move for Liverpool, who absolutely don't need him. Just a reminder once again that Liverpool's front 4 are Salah, Lewandowski, Haaland and Osman, who is the Ballon d'Or winner for this year, with Pedri in the midfield behind him. They absolutely don't need Bellingham as well. If I had 105 million, I'd buy him, just to stop them getting him. Not that, just in case I play this further. Luis Diaz puts the ball in. Soulé is there. That's not in. And we're finally at half-time. 4-1. XG of over 3. I mean, a penalty's part of that, of course, but pass completion is 90% for us. 90. With our possession levels, that's very good. Left back still on a 6.9 though, of course. Zivkovic puts this ball in. Bergman, Johnson, Brandt. It's worth saying, ever since I told those players to mark the wingers, I've not seen an open play highlight from them yet. And even this one's actually going in our favour, seemingly. And that wasn't open play. New ball, though. Gets a chance to punt this back up the pitch again. Only as far as Ruben Diaz. At least the Dortmund players were there that time, even if they didn't bother to challenge for it. Luis Diaz, Benacer, has been tackled, but should have had that ball back. Toussaint, though, recovers, and there's an option on the left. They've not taken it. Benacer. Now Diaz is there. SMS in a bit of space. Makoko even more. That was filth. I think Newell actually does get a save, but it's not good enough. It's an unfortunate angle for this chip to be shown at, but I think Newell does save it. Well, I tried to anyway. He gets a hand on it, but it still just goes over him. This is starting to get a smidge embarrassed. This is what I was sort of expecting this to go like, just because of how bad their team is, apart from Bellingham. And Makoko against his former team. Oh, this is getting somewhat depressing. I just reminded that we drew 0-0 with Dynamo Zagreb. I said that the wrong way around, didn't I? I just want to quickly check. How old is Hummels? 36. I can see why he's struggling with the likes of Calvert-Lewin and Makoko in particular. That is 6 acceleration, 5 pace versus 17s on my side. My forward players have 10 more acceleration than pace. Benacer though, Soule's there. It's carnage in the box again. What the heck just happened? I mean, this is their fullback, so Casteels, please deal with that. Where did my players go? Because I leave 2 fullbacks back, and I think both of them ran into their half for no apparent reason. I think they might have actually gone to mark the players I told them to mark when I had one of their other players bearing down on us. That might be a bit of a bug. Fortunately, it was their fullback, and he was terrible. But Tsimikas, and he's not even a proper fullback, actually. He's a central midfielder. I just realised they moved him from the midfield. Tsimikas, forward to nobody. Umar Sole, who's not a bad player either, really. Bellingham gets a consolation. I don't know if Casteels was just trying there, to be honest, but I appreciate Bellingham's enthusiasm to get this ball back into the centre circle. Goes well for England, at least. In a bit of space there is Bellingham. It's a good strike. Tsimikas. Cross to SMS. Benacer now. Calvert-Lewin is through. I can see that move happening. Oh, that's an excellent challenge. But, well, that's got in the goal. But Bergwijn Johansson's been sent off. I think the sending off does prioritise because the goalkeeper obviously didn't just... We've scored a direct free kick. We've scored 2 direct free kicks since we last met, by the way. Forgot to mention that. Messi scored one, and then SMS scored one, like either last game or the game before. And he's done it again here. It's 7-2. And that goal doesn't even matter, the fact they had a man down. From here onwards, it's 10 men. I mean, this is ridiculous. I've not made subs. Who's on a hat-trick? Lamptey definitely isn't, so that's fine. Makoko's on 2, everyone else is on 1 goal. Sesko can have a few minutes. And Diaz is booked. Actually, no. Nianzao can have some minutes just because he's returning back from injury. I know 6 minutes is going to make all the difference, but Makoko goes all about to Casteels. I just kind of want Casteels to get a goal here. Let this go straight in. Calvert-Lewin. It's a save by Newell. That's a novelty in this game. We've regained the possession again, and Calvert-Lewin, if we get the ball in, skips now foul Makoko. Didn't get booked for that, surprisingly. Oh, Messi's injured, by the way. That's a big piece of news. Messi is injured for like 5 to 6 weeks. Didn't call retirement on it. So at the very least, he thinks he's going to be back in time. I'm really proud of everyone managing to turn around a first leg deficit and win on aggregate. Yeah, just small margin. Chelsea won 1-0 away from home, but they did have to get 2 goals back. I just saw who scored the goal for Chelsea. It was Lukaku. Awkward. So it's Manchester City next again. 8 million for that. Lamptey wants a new contract, really? 3 years left. He's on 68k in fairness. This would mark 2 years. Tariq, buddy, if you could wait till the end of the season, that's fine, no worries. We'll get the draws for the quarterfinal directly after this. The Sheffield United match got punted anyway. Paris Saint-Germain out first. In fairness, they're not really a dud team. Like, Inter Milan's probably the weakest of the 7. Liverpool, despite their performances in the Premier League this year, are really good in Europe. They've won, I want to say 3 in a row at this point. The way those were drawn out almost implies that English teams can get each other at this point. I think they can, but weirdly they didn't. It's a genuine chance if we get past Paris Saint-Germain. This ends up being 4 English teams. And then the semi-finals will be Inter Milan or Man UFC, which I will absolutely take because Real Madrid and Liverpool, that would have been horrendous. Not that it matters at this point, but we did get a good player through in the youth intake, by the way. Adam Tate, 3.5 stars minimum on his potential ability, apparently, in comparison to this current squad. 19 determination. likely to make it there as well. Driven personality backs that up. Does need more stamina, does need more work rate in my opinion. For some reason it tells me he's an inverted whatever on this left-hand side. That's obviously wrong. The only thing he's completely competent at this point is forward. And 9-9-10 already at 15 years old. Yeah, the aggression isn't lacking. Some of these top mentals are a little bit lacking. Makoko wants a new contract now as well. Everyone wants new contracts all of a sudden. All right, in fairness, he's on 48.5 grand. And again, he's backed off. Okay, so I'm somewhat infuriated that there's a match between Burnley and Wolves happening at the same time. In another time, we got Manchester City. I thought the players might be slightly less tired than this. Benacer, Diaz, Sam Maximan will have to do. Simicans, we don't have 45 minutes for Luca Digne. Might have to play more. Tyrone Mings still injured as well, so third choice isn't available. Yeah, I think I'm just going to force it. Lamptey's just going to have to take a step out as well. Castiles will remain in goal because Chetty's injured. I would have played him in the cup. Otherwise, Digne, Diaz, Sule and Barber are right back, and Nyanzao will start. I don't know how good he's actually for. It doesn't tell me. Willock and SMS just because Benacer's a smidge tired. Sam Maximan just because Diaz is a smidge tired. Makoko and Calvert-Lewin's going to have to start really just because he's that much better than Sesko. I'm intrigued to see how much they rotate. Not at all seems to be the answer. I think they must have rotated against Leicester in their match, which was midweek actually. As I said, it happened the same time as our Champions League game. I think their FA Cup tie was late because they were in the Europa League and doing games in the Europa League, which happened at a slightly different time frame. That is a ridiculous ball, but it is De Bruyne, so accurate, I suppose. But it's gone back to De Bruyne again, this time to Grealish. Rodri found its way back to De Bruyne, moving around between De Bruyne and Rodri quite frequently here. Yeah, pass it to someone else, guys. Or let one of us tackle you. One or the other. Grealish is through. Has he beaten the offside trap? Hasn't beaten Castiles regardless. Yes was the answer to the offside trap question, though. De Bruyne puts the ball in. Genuinely thought that went through my players there, but never mind. At least Man United are playing Arsenal, so that will be a big team out of the way as well, should we get past Manchester City. Can we stop playing it between our defence? That would be fantastic news. Then he just punts it at one of their players instead. Grealish finds Piet. I can't say that name, really. I don't know why I struggled with that. Ruben Diaz, who's on a booking already there, by the way. Insane tackle. Kwiatkowski. I just struggle to understand which around the T and the W were there. T and the K were there. Makoko does have the opportunity to just run at their defence. He's doing that. He's got all the way to their corner flag. And Calvert-Lewin. It's a good save by Edison in the end. Kwiatkowski. There's an accent on the A, which probably implies that's pronounced slightly differently, but sure. Not great from us so far. In terms of energy levels, the reverse of what happened last time we played Manchester City, pretty much, but they were all a little bit more tired than we were. I've clearly used more of my first team midweek. Realistically, when it got to like 5-0, I probably should have taken the key players off at that point, rather than waiting until it being 7-2, or 5-1, or whatever it was at that point. You know what I mean? De Bruyne, Rodrigo, Kwiatkowski, Bernardo Silva, still there. He'll be leaving at the end of the year. Bosman ruling got him to Barcelona, I think it is. Didn't get a chance to get him, of course, because it's English to English otherwise. Mendy, fullbacks finish. Would have been nice to have got Bernardo Silva on a free at the end of the year, just because can't really see much wrong with the average positions. Possibly would like the two inside forwards to be a little bit further advanced, but yeah, everyone seems to be relatively man for man. The large issue, I think, is Rodri is unchallenged, but then we've got Calvert-Lewin right between their two defenders. I just make them engage a little bit higher up. That'll be the one change I make. Now, point the finger, I'll say, okay, I'll have to thrash arms to say that wasn't good enough. That was weird, which is demotivating Nyanzao. I've managed to turn Sam Maximan around, but it clearly wasn't good enough. Why did I not have a slightly more tame option than thrash arms there? Just say that wasn't good enough. There's normally like 2 or 3 of those. Sam Maximan now picks up a booking. He's on a 6.1. Kwiatkowski now with a throw and plays it short to Rodri. Plays it to no one, but Kwiatkowski does react in time. Willock intercepts, and that only goes as far as camera because we just hoofed it at their player for no apparent reason again. Short passing, guys. What part of that was difficult to understand? That would have been a ridiculous goal to have conceded. Well, Sam Maximan's going to have to come off because I've never seen him play this badly. SMS is naturally knackered in the middle. I don't really want to bring Harry Winks on. It's a great ball from them. Bernardo's in. Steals is a monster. Benacer on for SMS in the middle. It's not that much of an improvement fitness level-wise, but it's going to have to be done. Digne was only good for 45. I've played him for 75. Simicas is going to... I know Makoko and Calvert-Lewin have been running to the ground here, but with 5 minutes or so to go, I'm just going to go attacking because it's injury... It'll just go to extra time otherwise at this stage of the competition. Still have replays in the earlier rounds. They've not been removed. But we can't really afford injury time. We can't really afford extra time here. But we're going to get it. Probably means we do get a 4th sub, which might be crucial. Nyanzao's booked. Do I have a replacement for Makoko at all on this bench? I don't. I'm actually going to bring Sesko on. I was going to replace Nianzou, but I'm not 100% certain I have Toussaint on the bench. I might have done. Too late now. At least Benitez on if it goes to penalties. The balls with Kabore on this right side. Lovely ball from De Bruyne there. They brought on players like Cole Palmer. Sterling's there. Sterling's done a Sterling thing. Right. I'm still on attacking, I think. I've just realised. Just told my players to play down the left-hand side because obviously we've got Tsimikas on there. We've got Luis Diaz on there. Benitez on that side generally. No, he isn't. Forgot he's not playing Bizarre today. But largely because Makoko is absolutely knackered. Just tell my players to play down that left-hand side. See if we can get a bit of an overload on the left. Balls on the right-hand side. Glad they listened. Like, what was that? Genuinely, what was that? And Rangers just walked through the team there. Fairness, both my centre-backs are absolutely knackered now. Sule and Ruben Diaz. Both on bookings as well. Wary of making that challenge, seemingly. De Bruyne. Someone just react to that. That would be great. We've had 2 shots on target all game. I don't think I've seen a performance this bad. I do understand that we played midweek. I think we are playing Wednesday, Saturday for some stupid reason. Benacer through to Sesko. No, not quite. Tsimikas does dispossess Bernardo, though. Nianzou back to Ruben Diaz, back out to Tsimikas. Going down this left-hand side, as instructed. Finally, I'm seeing it. Although, now we're not. Through to Benacer. Out to Makoko. Sesko is being played through. Sesko is in. He's got the jump of the defenders. Half goes around the goalkeeper and then kicks it directly at him. Benacer puts the ball in. Doesn't get to anyone in particular. Will get the knockdown. Can we build something from this? No is the answer to that question. Tsimikas, long throw. We've scored a few of these actually recently. That is woeful from Tsimikas. Not the best of them, but he does get the ball back. Luis Diaz back out to Tsimikas. Back to Luis Diaz. This is a great move. Great goal. I knew it wasn't worth going back on attacking again because that would just absolutely obliterate the remaining players we have. Weirdly heavy touch from Bernardo, but I do know that from his conditioning that he's particularly tired as well. Bit of a lazy touch allows players who aren't actually that tied in. Tsimikas, Diaz, substitutes. But Manchester City have a throw in now, and there's still 12 minutes of injury time there or thereabouts. Keep calling it injury time, extra time. You know what I mean. Makoko doesn't get in the way of that. I thought he had. Mendy now, though. Cole Palmer all the way back to De Bruyne forward to Reina once more. Kabore on this right-hand side. He's already provided Sterling with a Giltez chance. Come back out to De Bruyne again. This time he's the one providing Sterling with a Giltez chance, and he might be offside. I'm not confident. I think this might stand. Yeah, played him on somehow there. I think it's the right back. I think it's Mbabu. Miles on. I knew he was miles on. It's perfect from Sterling. It's perfect. It's what he does. I generally don't think I've seen a goal that is so accurate to real life there. De Bruyne's assist and Sterling's run were so perfect. Sterling's got an opportunity again. They should have started him. Well, I've obviously got to go attacking at the very last, but 2-1 in extra time. I'd rather have been 2-1 in regular time. Casteels with a 7.4 despite conceding 2 goals. The entire back line apparently brilliant. 10 saves from Casteels. They should have had 3. So no FA Cup. So it's a bit of a shame, but it does mean that we'll just... Oh, God, there's a Man UFC match right in the middle of that. Of course there is. Of course there is. We're going to have to not show you the Man UFC match. We'll do both legs of the PSG. The Man UFC match will be in between it. I will bring you the result and anything major that happens in it in between the 2 PSG legs, but I can't give it the full attention that it probably actually deserves. And if we get past PSG, I've just realised the semi-finals probably go either side of that Liverpool match, won't it? Why is it always schedule them like that? So it doesn't look like, well, the treble's off. Even if we do manage to catch Arsenal, the treble is off. Don't forget we play Arsenal on the final day as well. So if we're within 3 points of Arsenal that final day, that's going to matter. 4 points as things stand. PSG, though, both legs, next time out. I'll see you for that. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you're this far in. Ta-ra.